Welcome to Break It Down with Bordy. Special guest today, starting pitcher Andrew Cashner, and he's off to a great start for the 2018 season. But it hasn't always been easy for him. He's went through a lot of controversy and adjustments throughout his career as a young pitcher. Had a lot of injuries, but he was throwing 100 miles an hour. So pretty interesting or how he's evolved to this point in his career, and he's going to talk about that today. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Bordy. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and congratulations on the good start. Now, as just alluded to, you were a first-round pick with the Cubs 10 years ago, okay? 10 years ago.
Doesn't seem like that long ago.
Yeah, 9 years in the big leagues. But he's throwing 100 miles an hour. So pitchers evolve a little bit. I mean, have you had to make adjustments from day one?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was really just learning how to pitch, not always just throwing my fastball as hard as I can. I think that as I've gotten through injuries and I've learned more about myself and what I need to do and how I need to prepare, I think it's changed. And everybody loves the velo, and everybody, they say guys' velos goes down, but I think it's more guys know how to pitch and they change speeds. Greg Maddox always talked about changing speeds with his fastball, and you might see some 88s this season from me with my fastball, but it'll have more movement on it. It's just it's playing that roller coaster ride throughout a game and taking some off and using it when you need to, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, it seems like, though, you have so many different bag of tricks. And you were telling me the other day, seriously, at Yankee Stadium, you said, well, out of the windup, you were a little inconsistent, so you stayed in the stretch the whole game. So you got everything in your bag of tricks as a starting pitcher. What are some of the things you do on the mound, or have you done, and have all of a sudden led to where you are today?
Well, I think for where I'm at in my career now, my bread and butter is my backdoor sinker. So when I throw that to a righty, I want to start it in the batter's box, in the left-handed batter's box, and I want it to finish just right on the black. It's first strikeout. And so, or it's a weak contact somewhere. So for me, I'll be, typically right here on the rubber. And if that day, if I'm just missing by like this much, then I'll just scoot over this right here on the rubber. So for me, in-game adjustments, that's the easiest adjustment to make, but you got to be a great self-evaluator and what you need to do that day to get through the game.
Yeah.
Some days you don't have it. It's just, that's the way it is. But I try to think along with where my misses are going. Was my hand laid, was I balanced over the rubber? And if I have all those things, then I just move over on the rubber. But I think, in New York the other day, I think I was just getting here with my balance. This front knee was out here out of the windup, and I was never having time to gain over the rubber. And so for me, I just went straight out of the stretch, which I practice a lot. That's the most important pitches you're going to make every day. So, when I practice out of the stretch, to me, that's, sometimes that's what you got to go to finish the game.
Absolutely. Good stuff right there. Now, listen, you started your career as a reliever. Then you went into the starting role. Were there adjustments you had to make on the mound in that regard as well, like mental approach and even a physical approach, how you threw the baseball?
Yeah, I think for me, the hardest transition I made was in 2012 when I was a reliever half the season and I came and started half the season. And I just felt like I still had a reliever's routine when I went to the rotation, just because, and when I say routine, it was just, I came out too hard too early, I think. And if I could have, kind of toned back, I think I could have saved myself on some injuries. But I feel like, where I'm at in my career as far as my routine, and I've got it pretty down to a science on what I need to do every day, mentally and, in the weight room. I do a ton of mental training with a guy named Brian Kane out of South Lake, Texas. So, I mean, that part, I handle at home. And then when I come to the field, I still do a little bit here.